You're listening to Highside Race Hub Radio, your all-access pass to drivers, owners, and the latest stories. On air now with A. Paul B. 661.
Hey, what another man's trash is another man's treasure. Someone could say it's clean, someone could say it's dirty. I have no opinion on it. He just was trying hard to get his first career win.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's, special Saturday edition of Race Hub Radio. We have NASCAR Tron fan here with me. Say hi, Tron fan.
What up?
So, we've got a few things to talk about here. Obviously, we had two races this week on Tuesday and Thursday at Michigan and Auto Club. We've got to talk about those and what happened, what transpired through those races, and then we're going to talk to the drivers in a post-race interviews. Then Tron fan here is going to talk about is going to go over the results and the standings of both races, and the standings, and then we're going to talk about Daytona. And then after the break, we're going to go over some storylines. I can give you an example of what the storylines are going to be here. We're going to look at there were a bunch of trades that happened, and then talk about Country Boy and Zesty Lime and Sawtooth. And then after that, we're going to have an interview with Happy Panda. He got 2 top 3 finishes this week, which was the best he'd ever done. After that, that'll be the end of the show. But Tron fan, what do you expect out of today?
I think we got a pretty good show on tap. Definitely, especially with that interview we got going on later. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Okay, so at Auto Club, at Michigan, we had a really good race in Willie's lobby. That was the one I was in. Tron fan can tell you about CK's lobby, but in Willie's lobby, I mean, it was a little bit of a wreck fest. There were probably as many caution laps as there were green flag laps, but in the end, it was dominated pretty much by Killer Ram. Killer Ram probably had the best car, followed along with Miami Joe and Happy Panda. They all three had really good cars. However, It's Eclipsed came out with the win, with a really nice block on Miami Joe on the last turn, and he put himself in position to possibly make the chase if he makes it into the top 25 in standings. In CK's lobby, I'll have Tron talk about that one.
Yeah, it started out like a regular race, and then it slowly went to crap as there was lag issues, and especially Big Chief was lagging a lot, and he took out a couple cars on his way to the front, and then it went green the rest of the way. Some pit strategy ensued, and then it came down to definitely pit strategy. It was a fuel strategy race, and some people made it, some people didn't, and at the end it was CK winning and Big Chief second, and it was a very interesting race. No cautions from what I saw, 1 or 2 cautions.
I do want to mention that in in Willie's lobby, there was a big wreck in the last couple laps that really played a big factor in who actually finished up front. But we're going to go ahead and move on to Auto Club. In CK's lobby, we had Outbreak Slays get the win. Um, it was that that race. I mean, I wouldn't call it a wreck fest necessarily, but uh, there were a couple of wrecks that played into the end. Um, I I mean, Eclipsed got his second top two finish in a row in just three starts. Outbreak wound up with the win. Tron fan, uh, what was your perspective on that?
The race was good up until the last 10 laps. And then it just became who can wreck each other first and win the race. So,
Yeah, pretty much that was a bit of a wreck fest too at the end. Um, and I know, I mean personally, this is just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure the driver that dominated the race did not win the race.
oh, yeah, definitely.
But um, then we moved on to, or we'll move on to Willie's lobby. I know for sure that Miami Joe uh, had that race. It came down to fuel strategy, and we're going to talk to Happy Panda about this race too, but because he was in this one. But it came down to fuel strategy, and Miami Joe basically running out at the very end of the race uh, beat out Happy Panda by just, I don't know, a couple of tenths. So that was a really close race. Followed, and then after Happy Panda was M Right. But we're gonna go ahead and go over the results of both of all four races. I guess both races for both lobby each. I don't know how to say it, but Tron fan, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so at Michigan in CK's lobby, CK finished first. Second was Big Chief. Third was Pittsburgh. Fourth was Zesty Lime Memes. Fifth was Sawtooth Money. Sixth was Cheeseburger. Seventh was Bovie. Eighth was Outbreak Slays. Ninth was SGG Coal Killer. 10th was NASCAR 24 Tron Fan. 11th was Colonic Virus. 12th was Gator Boys. And 13th was Akam Harambe. And in Willie's lobby, it was It's Eclipsed, Miami Joe in second. Third was Happy Panda. Fourth was Emrite. Fifth was Combat Beast. Sixth was Turn Amari. Seventh was Duck Sauce. Eighth was Ethan Duh Gamer. Ninth was Trucker 2448. 10th was Killer Ram. 11th was A Paul. And 12th, rounding out the field, was SC Willie. Now, getting into the Auto Club results. In CK's lobby, it was Outbreak Slays in first. Second was It's Eclipsed. Third was Tweed 82. Fourth was CKX Whalefan. Fifth was Ethan Duh Gamer. Sixth was Serving Cone. Seventh was A Paul. Eighth was Clue Limits. Ninth was T Crutch. 10th was NASCAR 24 Tron Fan again. 11th, Akam Harambe. 12th, Sound Superior. 13th, Newcomer No Doubt Flat Out. And 14th, Big Chief. Now getting into Willie's lobby, we have Miami Joe in first, Happy Panda second, Emrite 42 in third, SGG Cold Killer in fourth, Duck Sauce in fifth, Pittsburgh in sixth, seventh was Combat Beast, eighth was Killer Rim, ninth was Turn Amari, NYY27680 was 10th, 11th was Zesty Lime Memes, 12th was Bull and Blaine, 13th was Bovie, 14th was SC Willie, and rounding out the field was Sawtooth Money. And now we are going to get in some the chase grid. So first, Miami Joe with 7 wins. Second, NASCAR 24 Tron Fan with 2 wins. Third is Turn Amari with 2 wins. Fourth is CKX Whale Fan with 1 win. Emrite 42 is fifth with 1 win. Sixth is Pittsburgh Steel with 1 win. Seventh is Ethan the Gamer with 1 win. A Paul is in eighth with 1 win. Ninth is Big Chief with 1 win. I think that's wrong. Maybe I don't know. I could be wrong. Uh, 10th is SGG Cold Killer with 1 win. 11th is Colonic Virus with 1 win. 12th is Duck Sauce with 1 win. And rounding out the winners, we have SC Willie in 13th with 1 win. And then we're getting into the guys in on points, starting with Serving Cone in 14th. 15th is Panda. And last one in on points as of right now is Zesty Lime Memes. And then the drivers on the outside looking in is Sawtooth Money, Combat Beast in 18th. 19th is Cheeseburger. 20th, he's got quite a gap to 19th, is Bovie. And same with 21st to 20th is Killer Ram. And then we got the two winners from the past two races. 22nd is It's Eclipsed. He's the only reason he's not on the chase grid is because he has to get in the top 25. And then Outbreak Slays rounds out the chase bubble drivers.
And I have just gotten word that you are right. Big Chief should be fourth instead of ninth.
Okay. Yeah.
He has 2 wins. 1 win at where was it? He had a win at Pocono, I think it was. Yeah, Pocono, and a win at Charlotte.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you're right. That was wrong. So Big Chief is fourth over CK, M Wright, Pittsburgh Steel, Ethan DeGamer, and A Paul B661.
Yeah, everything is right on down except for that.
Okay. We are going to we're going to actually go ahead and go to the post-race interviews. Happy Panda was a big part of the post-race interviews, and it's really funny because we had planned for Happy Panda to be our main interview before this show before the whole week even started. So it's really funny because he's going to be all over this race of the episode. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to that, and then after that we're going to talk about Daytona. Welcome everybody to the post-race interviews. Right here we've got the top 3 in Miami or in Willie's lobby. Excuse me. We're going to start off with the third place finisher, Happy Panda here, driver of the number 27 RCR Chevrolet. Panda, what did you think of the race? Like, just give us your point of view of everything that happened.
It was a pretty interesting race, to say the least. It wasn't the cleanest of races that I've seen this season, but we got through it. In terms of my car, it was definitely, I think maybe I had the fastest car miraculously somehow, barely in front of Joe. But yeah, it was, there were quite a few cautions, especially toward the end, that we could have done without. I know there toward the end, my teammate in the 95 car, I don't know exactly what happened, but he was backwards on the track. Almost wrecked me. I mean, at that point, there was nothing he could do, but I know a few cars got collected, and then I want to say with 2 laps to go, maybe 3 laps to go, I know that M. Wright was involved in some kind of incident, but that allowed me to pass him for 3rd place. My first third ever, by the way, in this league.
Wow.
Probably my last.
Well, congratulations on the top 3 finish. You're getting interviewed, so that's
yeah, man.
That's
Afterward,
awesome.
I'll be signing autographs for anyone, including you, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
well,
yeah, it was
we're
a
gonna
good
go.
race.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the second place finisher, Miami Joe, driver of the number 17 Ford Fusion for
Best.
Roush Fenway. Zest, of course, your sponsor. And just you were running up front for the majority of the day, started dead last. How was it driving through the field in the beginning laps?
Well, you basically gotta avoid the idiots, and then you have to wait for the idiots in front of you to wreck, because there's always idiots around you. So, just have to wait for everyone to wreck, and then you have to get lucky and find the hole. That's really it. And then if you have slow restarters, not to name any names, but the 27 car, like that, then you can gain a couple positions on the restarts too.
Thanks for that, Joe. Appreciate the call out there.
Like Chris said, not mentioning any names.
But you finished second. Tell us about the closing laps and how. Uh, I know you were racing for the win. Um, what exactly went on there? Like, did you? Was it a clean race? I don't know.
Hey, what another another man's trash is another man's treasure. Someone could say it's clean, someone could say it's dirty. I have no opinion on it. He just was trying hard to get his first career win. Good job to him. Congratulations, the Eclipsed.
Um, well, congratulations on your second place finish.
Yeah, first loser.
Yeah, figured that was what you were gonna say, but still, I mean, it's a good points day, regardless. But we're gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and talk to the winner of the race. It's Eclipsed. Just your second race of the season, I believe. So, congrats on that. Just tell us about your point of view of the race. I remember you went a lap down at one point in the race. How did you overcome that to get the win?
Yes, first off, I want to apologize to the number 17 car if he thinks that was a dirty ending. And it was just because I was on some scuffed bad tires and it was coming down to the last turn and there was no option but to, you know, put a block on or end up second. So then we started off about sixth place and like the number 17 said, just got a bunch of people trying to go to the front in the first laps. And yeah, the number 19 Toyota Camry was pretty bad because we did get in a couple wrecks, but we ended up staying out one caution and coming out fourth place. And once that happened, it ended up coming to the closing laps that I ended up third, and then we passed the 10 car and so ended up in the lead.
My broadcast says I'm lagging a little bit. That's unfortunate, but um, you ended up in the lead and got up front, beating Miami Joe for the win. So regardless of how you got it, I mean, I guess just still congratulations on getting your first win of your career. Just your second race, so that's always like that to me that's just incredible to get a win in your second race when nobody knows exactly how you drive. You don't know how anybody else drives. You could get caught up in anything, and just you
Yeah.
got there at the end.
Yep.
So congratulations on the win. Um, and we're gonna go ahead and close out the post race interviews. Thank you guys for joining me. And
Hey, Paul.
yes,
Sorry, I'd be doing my sponsors a disservice if I didn't give a shout out. I'd like to give a shout out to Big Chief's rubbing alcohol. You can find it in Walgreens on shelves today, and Combat Beast Tits and Grits Gentlemen's Club. Thank you, boys.
One more thing, I would like to give a shout out to Cheeseburger for signing me in going into Pocono and having two top tens.
top
I'd like to
fives.
thank Zest, the title sponsor of the RHSRO, for constantly being there for me. Hopefully, we have a couple more years left in us.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. You're free to go.
So this is the driver of the 42 Tide Target Chevrolet,
Nope.
Chip Ganassi. Tide, wrong car.
Wrong car.
Well,
27.
yeah. Well, no, I'm introducing myself first here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Okay.
it's all good, and we have Happy Panda of the driver of the 27 Menards Peaks Performance Chevrolet from Richard Childress Racing.
That's
Right?
right.
Okay. Um, so you finished second tonight. Is that correct?
I did. Behind Miami Joe.
So, what'd you think of the race tonight?
Well, finishing second, of course, I liked it. I still got that, it was exciting at the end there, but just like Michigan, we had some issues with cautions throughout the race. I think some folks were just driving a little too aggressively, too early. Um, I was lucky enough to be able to. I was kind of anticipating them, so I would kind of check up and kind of put my car in a
Avoid
spot
that
where,
chaos.
yeah, like I wasn't on the ideal line. I just knew everyone was gonna wreck, so I was able to sneak by the. I think there were three big ones. Um, and so yeah, toward the end, once again there was a big caution that came out. Um, Miami Joe and I were able to sneak by it. That put us in. I think it was Pittsburgh Steel was in first, Miami Joe was in second, I was in third. All three of us needed a pit, so I actually liked being in third in that situation because I just did whatever they were gonna do. They when they pit, I pit. I took 2 tires. I took 1 can of fuel. Because half can was going to be really close.
Just not enough.
Yeah, as Miami Joe might be able to attest
Testify
to.
to.
Yeah, so we all came out of the pits around the same time, same order. Um, Final 2 laps, Miami Joe ended up taking Pittsburgh Steel on the inside of turn 1, I believe. So at that point it was Joe, Pittsburgh, myself. Final lap, I don't know what happened, but I think it was entering turn 3. Pittsburgh was just really slow, and he had a really, really fast car. I think he qualified first, so I think maybe he blew a tire, or maybe he was lying about how much gas he had, because he said he was going to make it. So he either ran out of gas or blew a tire. Passed him pretty easily, and then out of turn 4, Miami Joe, I think he was sputtering on gas. So coming up, I thought I was going to have the win, um, which would have been glorious, but I just couldn't get up close enough to him to beat him to the line. But we were pretty darn near side by side by the time he crossed the line. So it was exciting in that aspect, but just lots of cautions. I think there were a lot of drivers that were frustrated.
Agreed. How do you think your car performed for the night?
To be honest, it handled well, but my car wasn't that fast. It was just probably middle of the road. I can't even remember what kind of lap times I was running. I think .3s or something. It wasn't even good at all. Like I said, I was just able to kind of drive smart, avoid the wrecks, and then play that pit strategy pretty decent. So
Welcome back. That was your post-race interviews. I mean, I only got to actually like upload 4 of them from Twitch. Twitch had a little bit of an issue. Actually, just 3.5. Happy Panda's interview definitely was not a full interview. That was supposed to be an 8 to 10 minute interview, and it wound up being 4 minutes. So I was a little bit upset about that, but that's part of the reason why this is a Saturday edition. But um, anyway, we're going to talk about Daytona here. Daytona is quite literally a crapshoot. That's about the only thing we really know about the track. Is that you don't know who's gonna win. Our last restrictor plate track at Talladega, SG got the win. Actually, did really well. He dominated that race. But the Daytona race, the Daytona 500, when we went to the track the first time, Duck Sauce got the win, and that was his only win of the season. So, Tron fan, what do you expect out of this race?
A catch fence crash. That's all I. That's all I honestly know that's gonna happen. There's definitely gonna be a big crash, and it's not gonna really affect the field because there's no damage, but it's definitely those are the only predictable things about restrictor plate racing is there's gonna be a catch fence crash, and there's gonna be a big wreck.
Yeah, we're gonna have a big one. I can almost bet on that. We had how many big ones did we have in the Daytona 500? I wasn't actually there for that race.
About 10, 15.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is when we had the full like everybody was in the same lobby.
The 24 drivers in the
Yeah.
field. Yeah.
Actually, at that point it was like 32. So
Wow.
I was
Well, I know we had the big one in CK's lobby at Talladega that affected the end of that race. Sparked off by, well, yours truly.
Good job.
Yeah, I tried taking Country Boy. I tried, getting below him before we went into turn one on a restart, and he didn't realize I was there. And he was trying to duck in behind Dampus Duck and put me on the apron. I went back up on the track, just trying to keep it under control, and hit Bovey, and it just caused a massive wreck. So
Yeah.
that happened, but anyway, moving on from that, we just know that this Daytona race is going to be interesting. And I mean, let's be honest, we have no idea what to expect. But after the break, we're going to take a real quick break here. And after the break, we're going to go over a few of the storylines. Like I said earlier, we've got Country Boy. He had other things that he needed to do, so he stepped down from his ownership role. We've got a bunch of trades that happened over this week that we're going to look at. And, I mean, we went over the chase standings, but, I mean, we're going to take a closer look at it and look at the chase cutoff right at this point. And after all of that, after all those storylines, we're going to get an interview with Happy Panda, and we're going to talk to him about that, definitely about the most recent race, and just how his career has been so far in the RHSRL. But let's take our break, and we'll be back afterwards. One.
Big Chief rubbing alcohol. Just when you thought your dick got infected. Well, you're fucking wrong, little Billy. Big Chief rubbing alcohol. Dick ready since 1928.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Don't miss it. Tonight from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. enjoy $1 grits, $10 2-for-1 lap dances after the RHSRL race, Ice House and Keystone cans, $1 all night. Come on down to Tits and Grits at Combat Beast Gentlemen's Club. Watch the race on one of our 19-inch Sanyo televisions. Free body shots if combat finishes in top 3. Ask about our MVP lounge, where you can enjoy $3 prime rib, all-you-can-eat grits, a hand job, and free fountain drinks. The experience starts at $50 per hour. Come on down! Conveniently located 1 mile south of Country Road 78, next to the landfill, and across the street from High Voltage's Guns and Payday Loans Emporium. We'll see you there.
Hey everyone. I know this is a brand new show, so I don't expect many viewers, but I would like to add some commercials for spots like this. Anybody who has an editing or recording software, or just wants to add their own thing, can hit me up. Let me know if you do, and I will add your commercial right in this spot. Contact me either in this video or on Xbox, gamertag APaulB661. Now back to the show. Welcome back to Highside Race Hub Radio. Now on to the second half of the show with APaulB661. Welcome back, everybody. We, I mean, I hope you enjoyed the break. I mean, we had a little bit of fun with the recording, but and I know Tron. I just said I wasn't going to mention that, but honestly, how can you not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Anyway,
lot of fun.
let's get into the storylines here. We've already talked about Auto Club in Michigan and Daytona. Let's go into the storylines. I know that we had a massive number of trades. I mean, there were huge shakeups in the I mean teams, and really, well, actually, they haven't even been. They're still pending, but we're still going to talk about these. NASCAR Tron fan, actually, my co-host here is, I guess, wanting to give a calm Harambe to somebody.
No, I'm just planning on taking them. I don't know how to really do
Oh,
the
taking it.
giving them
That's right.
myself. Yeah, thing. I don't know
Okay.
if I did it wrong or not.
Um, and then we've got a trade between Willie and Ethan. Um, actually, Willie is just giving its high voltage to Ethan, and Ethan's going to move him up to the 15. Uh, Meanwhile, Willie is taking Trucker. And I don't know where Trucker. I think Trucker is a free agent right now, so he's taking Trucker out of free agency. Um, and then Zesty Lime Memes. He's trading out. He's trading with free agency. Uh, Waka Bamf or however you want to say that, for Tweet 82, and Tweet 82 is going to be on that Zesty Lime Memes team. Now all of these are still pending. We don't know if CK, the league owner, is going to actually accept the trades, but he's pretty well done or accepted all the trades. There was one. Well, actually, there's been a few here that he's not accepted. But I mean, out of the entire season, and a season with, like, I don't know, 60 or 70 trades altogether, 3 of them have not been accepted. You can pretty well be sure that these that these trades are going to get accepted. But you never know. Um, I think I think it is. Well, maybe not. I mean, all of these guys, they're lower in the point standings, and they're not. I mean, they're not really much of a factor to make the chase. But some of these drivers are very good drivers, and they can make it every week, and that's what the owners are looking for. Isn't that right, Tron?
Oh yeah. Um, Mostly, I've been trying to get everybody out there fairly, and what I'm doing with Harambe is I'm trying to get him at least a part-time ride with my team, and he can go run for other teams while he wants. But I would just rather have him on a team than because he's a good talent, so I'd rather have him on a team than just be sitting in free agency waiting for another team to pick him up. So I thought it was a good chance to pick him up.
Well, it definitely is a good opportunity for him, and he's joining a great team. I mean, your team is what is it like? Really close to the top of the leaderboard as far
Uh,
as team standings go.
After the new rules were made, we took over the points lead.
Yeah, you've
So
got the points lead, and you're actually, oh boy, you are only 11 points ahead of JGR SGG Cold Killer's team,
yeah,
which actually is incredible. I mean, I never would have expected that. I didn't think JGR was that close to being at the top of the leaderboard.
yeah. I guess they've been getting top fives and top tens regularly enough to do that.
Um, but anyway, uh, we're gonna move on. We've talked about this long enough. Uh, the next thing on my list of storylines here is SWGA Country Boy. Before the Michigan race, he actually went ahead and stepped down from his ownership role. He said his comments were that he had to do some other things. He had prior commitments and needed to just step away and maybe try again uh, in a driver's role in a couple of seasons. Because per rules, if you step away from if you excuse me, help me out here. If you have to quit an ownership role, or if you have to leave an ownership role, you get a
2 season ban. Yeah.
2 season suspension. I wouldn't call it a ban, but um, and that's really unfortunate. Country Boy was a very good driver, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and he had prior commitments to make. Um, so that is going to make Willie the new owner of Hendrick Motorsports, that team, which I'll be totally honest. I mean, that team has been through a lot this season, with Dampus Duck quitting and his assistant, and then Country Boy had to quit. So it's just Hendrick Motorsports is going through a difficult season so far, and it shows in their standings. Um, based on the rules change. Which what was the rules change? I was really confused about that.
Um, I and a couple of other owners felt that it was a little unfair that some teams were able to keep points of drivers that had quit the league or had been banned, or and I thought that was people taking advantage of the situation that shouldn't be taken advantage of, and it kind of encouraged. It felt like to me it kind of encouraged people quitting was okay, you know, and oh, you can quit, I don't care, I can get a new driver to replace you. But now, you know, it makes owners think a lot more about their decisions and how they treat their drivers, and how instead of just saying, "Oh, well, you can quit. I'm going to keep your points. Have fun." It's more like, "Oh, okay, if you quit, it's going to screw us a little bit, but, you know, that's how it works." And I think that's how it would work in the real world too. So,
Hmm. Well, Hedrick Motorsports, uh, they now have 738 points, which actually, believe it or not, that is last in the league. They are the worst team right now as far as points go, and they've had a lot of issues um, as far as keeping points, and I don't know. I don't really know what to think of it. Ethan DeGamer with 832 is second to last, and then you've got uh, Zesty Lime with 1,082, and everybody else is decently close. Um, but yeah, the Rick Hendrick Motorsports Willie's team, lot of struggles. Um, we're gonna go ahead and go to the chase standings. Um, as the last storyline I've got here, chase standings. Zesty Lime Memes is in position to make the chase, literally based on a tiebreaker. Sawtooth Money and Zesty Lime Memes are here with 331 points, tied for 16th in the chase grid. Um, I don't exactly know what the tiebreaker is. I guess we'll have to ask CK about that. But 331 points, and I mean, this is a tight race. Zesty Lime Memes had struggles at the very beginning of the season, couldn't make several races, and has fought his way back up into the top 16 in points. Um, and it's really close. However, you've also got It's Eclipsed and Outbreak Slays back there, just outside the top 25 in points, looking to make use of their wins. Each of them have a win, so it's close. It's really close. What do you think?
yeah, 16th on down to about 18th or 19th is very close points battle. But once those two drivers with two wins that are outside the top 25, I think when they get in, I think that's going to make at least one spot, if nobody new wins for the rest of the season, one spot that is open for points.
Yeah, and Serving Cone is in that position. I honestly, with this two lobby system, I really don't expect I don't expect anybody without a win to actually make the chase. But right now, looking at it, it's really close. But we've I mean, I think we've talked about that enough. Let's. I know that Happy Panda's waiting on us on the line, so let's actually go ahead and get to Happy Panda. He wants to do an interview, and we're gonna talk to him about a couple things. So let's get to it. We now have live the driver of the number 27 Big Chiefs Rubbing Alcohol Chevrolet. Best finish of second in his career, most recently at Auto Club, with two top fives this season, but the heart of a panda. We have Happy Panda with us here. Panda, you've done well recently. Tell us about your closest calls for getting that first win in your career.
Oh man. Well, again, I gotta thank my sponsors, Big Chiefs Rubbing Alcohol, Combat Beasts, Tits and Grits, Gentlemen's Club, and a big thank you to CK over at Bring Back the Whalers. Not the ones that kill the whales, but the hockey team. I would have to say that the last two races were uh, really, I somehow just found my mojo. Finished third at Michigan, finished at Auto Club. Um, I'd have to answer your question. Auto Club was very close. Um, kind of mad at Miami Joe for not just letting me have that win. Um, I think he ran out of gas, but Joe will be Joe. And then the other one really was Martinsville early on in the season. I think I was a full second ahead of the field there, but got wrecked in first place in the final restart and just couldn't make it up in the.
Came really close. Uh, you you started your career. Actually, where did you start your career? How did you get started in RHSRL?
Well, I think that Duschenberry Martin, play seat and thrustmaster owe you guys. Some, I was actually just watching Twitch. I saw that. I think it was back in September. Saw that they had a new NASCAR game.
Panda, we're losing you. Could you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Um, let's see. Start back over at uh, Duesenberg or I, yeah, the
Twitch
Martin
stream.
guy.
Yeah, Twitch stream.
Yeah. A Modi artist season 1, and made me buy the game. As my first NASCAR member, play a whole heck of a lot. So I bought the game. Um, Eventually bought a whole setup. I've got a play seat challenge. I've got a Thrustmaster TX for the Xbox One now. So, like I said, I think they owe you guys, especially CK, some kind of check, maybe some royalties or commission, because they got a lot of money out of me.
Well, uh, so you went got into this league, and you've been successful. I mean, you made the chase last season, if I remember right.
Yeah, but to be fair, I made the chase on points. A lot of it was just me showing up often. I was definitely, and I still am, a development driver. Um, I think Tron can attest to this. Early on in the season, season 1, I didn't even know the rules of NASCAR. I was on standard physics. I was on automatic, slow as balls. So I'm sure people really frustrated as hell with, but I've actually learned from people like Tron, Miami Joe, Big Chief is a big one. He's helped me quite a bit. Combat Beast, just practicing with those guys, kind of watching them during the race. Um, but yeah, I mean I'm getting faster. I'm still a development driver for RCR, um, and I think I may need to get a win for CK to keep my ride, but we'll see.
Well, good luck. Good luck to you. Um, Tron fan, do you have anything for him?
Yeah, so the motto of your main sponsor, Big Chiefs Rubbing Alcohol, is Dick Ready since 1928. How does that resonate with you?
No, I think it's. I mean, it's a good slogan, especially back in 1928. A lot of people were doing raw. not sure they had rubbers back then. So they would use the rubbing up as kind of a contraceptive. But as we've become more of an advanced society, now you can still throw on that rubber, but maybe stretch it a little in the rubbing up. And I think that speaks to how my cars run these days. They're really fast. We've got a great crew, uh, uh, great crew chief. Big Chief helps me out with my setups. Just means that as time goes by, things get better.
All right. And another question here from one of the people watching live is, how can they get those titties and grits over at Combat Beats Titties and Grits? How do you get the discounts that you would probably get or another one of your teammates would get? Say if you come every day and you pay and you're polite to the girls, and how would you do that exactly?
Well, all you gotta do is show up at Tits and Grits, and we'll treat you like royalty. We've got the best girls in the business. Most of them do not have HIV. But yeah,
Most.
just come in. Just most of them, especially in the MVP section, the VIP section. Mention RCR Racing. Mention Combat Beast. And again, if he gets top 3, guess what? Your free hand jobs around the. I'll buy them for everybody.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. Free hand jobs if Combat Beast finishes in the top 3 at Combat Beast Tits and Grits.
Well, if that's all Tron Fan has got for you, good luck to you, Happy Panda. Um, we've interviewed people before, and they've. I don't know if we're any kind of luck, but I do want to wish you the best and just do well in your next few races. Hopefully, you can get a win. Honestly, we spoke earlier about this in the earlier in the show, but um, we don't expect anybody who doesn't get a win to make the chase. So, one thing you want to do is probably try to get a win, especially here at Daytona, where it is a little bit of a crapshoot. Uh, you want to try to be up front by the end of the race. So, um,
Well, I
hopefully somebody
appreciate that.
works well. Yeah,
I agree
hopefully
with you.
Go ahead.
I think that in order to make the chase this year, especially with the dual lobbies, you're gonna have to have that win. I think it does help that, and I think there's a new rule that you have to be top 25 in points, even if you have a win to make the chase. I think I'll learn more about that once I hear the episode. But I agree with you guys. And Daytona, I think it's one of my better shots of getting a win because I don't. Miami Joe, people like NASCAR Tron Fan, Big Chief. Big Chief's a teammate, so he'll help me to win anyway. But the fast drivers, Emmerite, it doesn't really apply. Like you said, anyone could win that. But on the flip side, somebody random could win it. And that shakes up the chase as well. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, good luck, and maybe you'll get another interview from us post race.
Yeah, let's flood it all the way to Chicagoland, baby.
Yeah, hope and you know what? You've had a couple of second and third place post race interviews just in this show alone. So maybe next time it'll be a winning post race interview.
I hope so, and I would like to apologize for anyone watching the show. I'm sorry you had to hear me so much. But thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, Happy Panda, and have a good season.
Thanks, guys.
that was Happy Panda. I want to thank him for doing this interview, and we've got Don't forget the Daytona race, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's tonight. And I just want to say this is A Paul B661 NASCAR 24 Tron fan right here. Um, we're gonna go ahead and end the show. Tron fan, you got anything else to say?
Yeah, we're gonna have an interesting race tonight, and hopefully we have something to talk about on Monday.
Absolutely. Let's create some storylines. Hopefully nothing really negative. you know.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, everyone, and enjoy the Saturday night race. Bye.